All right, welcome guys. This is I think our third webinar so far. We're doing these every week now, where we teach people to basically start an online business. But for this week, we're going to teach people how to create and sell Notion templates. And the reason why is because a lot of them are actually using Typedream. So we just wanted to share with you a couple of learnings that we got from our users, how they actually run their Notion template business, how some of them actually reach to like 6 figures selling Notion templates. Well, yeah, let's go get started. Next slide, Steve. So as a recap, for our previous webinar, we were teaching you guys how to do lead generation via freebie. So what that means is once you decide what you want to work on, say a Notion template, try to create one that is a free product so that you can sort of hook your audience, right? So freebie is something along the lines of it's a free product that gives value, right? It's give your potential customers a taste of what you can actually create, right? It's a gateway for you to find what paid product it might be later on. And lastly, freebies is also a very good way to test demand and gather an audience list. So you would have a list of people's emails that you can reach out to later on once you figure out what that paid product or paid service is. Next one, Steve. All right, so how do you actually create a winning Notion template? So there's a theme here for the Notion templates that people usually sell on marketplaces, or if you're on Twitter or X, you would see people tweet about Life OS, Work OS, Remote OS, Freelancer OS. So what are these templates, right? Here are like the 4 steps on how to identify that template for you. So number one, take a look at what you do on a daily basis. Like for some people, Life OS could mean, in the beginning, you would be going through emails or reading a bunch of news. Like it's completely customized to what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, right? And then number two, you would take a look at the tasks that you have at hand and sort of build out the dashboard to complete those tasks. And then number three, you basically just try to test out your Notion dashboard, see if it works for you and your workflow. And if it does, hopefully what you're doing is something that a lot of other people are doing, right? So for example, you're a freelancer. There's a couple of steps that you need to do, like every morning, maybe check your emails, check your invoices, something along those lines. Test it out, see if it works for you, and then set it as a freebie so that other people could give it a try, right? If they like what you're doing, they'll be asking you for more templates that you can create for other things rather than just a freelancer OS, right? And then lastly, in order for you to launch your Notion template, you need to publish it and then set the permissions there as allow to duplicate as a template. And then next one, go for it, Steve.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Kev. So once you have your Notion template set up, like Kevin said, what you can do is you can start to get people to download your Notion template. And so the first case here is, let's say we want to use our Notion template as a freebie, right? As a lead magnet for people to download. And so we'll be using Typedream products for this, and I'll be showing you how you can do that. So first, let's say that this is our Notion template. Let's say you're a PM and you have this workflow for creating a product spec. You have this template and you want to share it with people. Make sure, as Kevin mentioned before, that in the Publish tab, you have the page published, and then you have allow duplicate as template enabled. And then once you do that, you'd go to Typedream, so build.typedream.com. You either use an existing workspace or you can create a new workspace. I have an existing workspace here, and I'm just going to click on Add New Product here on the right-hand side. And you're going to type out your product name. So let's say it's a product spec template, right? And it is going to be a digital download, and it's going to be free. As simple as that. You just click Create Product, and it will direct you to a page where you can edit the contents of this product. So you can add a product image, you can add a product description, make sure that the product description fully states what this Notion template has, what it can help users achieve, and then what features it has. But I'm gonna shift our focus to the content tab over here. This is where you'll be dropping a link to your Notion template so that people can download it. You're gonna click show a link, and then you're gonna type out a name. And then you're gonna go to your Notion again, and once you publish the Notion, you'd have this link. So you copy this web link, and then you would paste it here, and you'll click add link. So when people download, they'll be directed to something like this. Just gonna give it a few more seconds to load. And they should be able to duplicate this template into their workspace. All right, and then once you're ready, you just click publish product, and you'll have a link to the checkout page. And what this checkout page will look like is that it will be a simple page where you have all the information you provided from before, and people would just need to enter their email and click get their product, and then they'll be redirected to this page over here. So two very important links to keep in mind. One is your Notion template URL, and the second is the Typedream products checkout page that I just showed. So that's how you create a free product on Typedream products. I'm just gonna take you on a little detour before we move on, because if you look at Gumroad and you look at people who are selling these Notion templates, you see these awesome thumbnails. And there's actually an easy way to do this for your own Notion templates. So you just need to go to a website that provides free Photoshop mockups. So I like to use mockupworld.co. And you can just search for a box, for example. And they'll have plenty of designs. Usually I'd like to go with a software box mockup, and you can download it as a Photoshop file, and there will be a smart object layer where you can just replace that with your own image, and it'll automatically wrap it into the 3D shape for you. And then you can just download that as a photo, and then you'd be able to paste it back into here, your product image. Cool. So let's say further down the line, you want to create another Notion template that you want to sell for some money. Same thing, we're gonna use Typedream products for that. The only difference here is that you need to connect your Stripe. So you have to go to site settings in your workspace, and under the products feature, let me disconnect this, but you'll have to connect your Stripe here, and there will be a series of instructions that you have to follow. Just fill out a few fields, and then you'll be able to connect it. So once Stripe is connected, it will look something like this. And you will be able to create a paid product. You'll be able to set a non-zero price. And an example of a checkout page for a paid product will look something like this. You'll be able to not only enter your email, but you'll be able to enter your credit card number for checkout. And once you start getting sales or getting downloads even for the free product, and you want to track how you're doing, you can go to the sales tab. For example, this is for our first giveaway for our first webinar about finding your niche. And you can see that there's data populated in here, and you can download it as CSV. And in terms of pricing, for the paid product, it's a 2% transaction fee if you're on our pro plan on Typedream, and a 5% transaction fee if you're on the free plan. So once you've set up Typedream products, now you want to put the word out there and you want people to know about your Notion templates. And there are 4 different things you can try out. The first one I would recommend is you go to these Notion marketplaces. I know that Notion has one officially for them, and you can list your templates there. You can also post on Facebook groups. You can post on X, like Islo did here, to have his audience engage, and then you can send people the link to the checkout page. You can also post on Product Hunt. A lot of tech people on Product Hunt, and tech people generally really like improving their workflows, so Notion templates are great for that. And then one thing you can also capitalize on is improving discoverability through Google search and SEO. And you can do that by creating a landing page on Typedream as well, a product page. And an example of that is when Islo created one for his freelance OS Notion template on Typedream. So you can have a very nice hero section. The CTA would be that checkout page I showed you earlier. And then you talk about the features, the benefits, and some testimonials and pricing. So that's about all we have for you in terms of the content for this webinar. And we're gonna open up the floor for questions. And at the same time, before we start that, I'm gonna put the screen up. So we do have a giveaway for this webinar as well. And it's going to be our sort of guidebook on creating and selling Notion templates with more details in it. So you can scan this QR code to join the giveaway. And then you can also get 15% off of 12 months for coming to this webinar for Typedream. And I'm gonna paste a link in the chat that you can use to redeem your offer. Thanks, guys.